I'm going to repeat that. Andy Dalton has more game-winning drives than Aaron Rodgers. See what else I had here across. If I had another one. Might not have another one. Oh, that's one we didn't talk about Saturday. I have to come back to that for when we get to Saturday. Kind of scrolling through Hunter, make sure I get all my points made across. I really didn't have that one, just other than that one. I thought you'd like that one. And
I do like that one.
My favorite thing of the weekend, though, was watching the scoreboard and it's saying Eagles versus football team. I could laugh at that all day
Why do they
long.
not just put Eagles versus, or like Philadelphia versus Washington?
Easily put the word Washington.
Exactly.
They put Eagles at football team. Oh, that stuff's funny. Just, yeah.
Undefeated.
What's bad is that the W y'all are using in the font, like, why didn't you just use the same font you already had?
Oh,
But
I
you
don't
changed
know.
the
We
font.
switched the
I
font.
swear to God, y'all stole this off of Madden. This is the Madden W.
Probably.
Y'all got everything you did off of Madden. No, hold on a minute. I don't think so. But I'm about to let Hunter go through these after I give this note. Hunter, I want you to go through the scores, everybody, and I'll come back. We'll break them down. But this is my stat of the day.
Stat of the day.
All-time touchdown passes, Breeze and Brady, 1,088 in their career. They have more touchdowns in their career, those two guys. You with me?
Yeah.
Than the Bengals, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Panthers, Ravens, Jaguars, and Texans have in their history.
My God.
You want me to say that out loud again, Hunter? You ready?
Just repeat that.
I'm going to see if I can put this in front of Hunter's camera because mine's too far away. There we go.
There we go.
Breeze and Brady have more touchdown passes combined than the Bengals, Seahawks, Bucks, Panthers, Ravens, Jaguars, and Texans do in their franchise histories. Now, you could talk about those expansion teams, Hunter, but they were all expansion teams before both those guys came into the league.
Right.
Now, after that, besides that point, the Bengals, y'all been around since the 60s, boys. Pick it up. All
They've
right,
been
Hunter.
complaining that, the Bengals franchise as a whole has always been mediocre
I'll
so
let
far,
you-
so that
Go-
really speaks to it.
Go through the scores. I'll be back and break it down. I got to run down the hall.
Scores! Seattle traveling to Atlanta. And they take the victory over Atlanta in the Dome, 28-35. The Buffalo Bills, they circle the wagons one more time in Buffalo as they defeat the Jets 27-17. For those of you that keep telling me Sam Darnold is better than Josh Allen, I got the last laugh today, baby. The Bears, what a fantastic comeback. They were down at one point, 10-6. No, I'm sorry. They were down 23-6, and they came back and won 27-23. Oh, the Green Bay Packers got off, started to a hot one. All right, they defeated the Vikings 43-34, and that putting 43 up week one. Obviously, the defense kind of was lackluster if they let the Vikings score 34. Not only that, 24 in the fourth quarter, but that's kind of garbage time at that point. The Vikings are already trying to make a comeback. They're already down by so much at the point, but the Packers came out with a statement showing that their offense is still as potent as ever. It's either that or the Vikings defense really isn't as good as I was expecting them to be this year. We will have to see going forward how that goes. The Patriots and Cam Newton's debut against the Dolphins, who had Ryan Fitzpatrick out on the field, and it was not good Ryan Fitzpatrick, the one that sometimes throws 4 touchdowns. It was the bad Ryan Fitzpatrick that throws the 3 to 4 interceptions from time to time. So, but Cam Newton, regardless, went out there. They scored 21. They won by 10, 21-11. The Raiders traveled to Charlotte right down the road to face the Carolina Kitty Cats because the Kitty Cats fell up short. 34-30. The Raiders, Las Vegas. I hope I said Vegas a second ago. If I said Oakland, I'm so sorry. But at Vegas, there we go. I can say this. Vegas, first win in the new franchise's career. They did that in Charlotte against Teddy B and the Carolina Kitty Cats. This is the shocker of the day because when I was keeping up with it on my phone, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. There's no way you could have told me this outcome was going to be this way. The Indianapolis Colts lose game 1 at Jacksonville, 27-20. I thought Jacksonville was going to go 0-16. They said, Hunter, we heard what you said and we're offended. So they went out there and defeated the Colts, 27-20. Didn't help Phillip Rivers had like 2 or 3 picks. Come on, Phillip. Come on. I have high expectations for the Colts this year. Come on, man. Come on. The next one, the Ravens absolutely dog-walked the Browns. Browns scored 6 points all game, and they were all in the first quarter. They ended up losing that game 38-6. The Chargers and the Bengals. I'm going to say this. I'm just going to tell you the score. 16-13, the Los Angeles Chargers over the Cincinnati Bengals. That kicker for Cincinnati should be ran out of town. I know he got a cramp while he was coming up to try and kick that field goal, but you lost that game essentially. Your field goal would not have won the game. I know that. Your field goal would have taken it to overtime. I get that. But Joe Burrow had played so well down the stretch. This was an opportunity for him to solidify a opening game win, his first game, because the Chargers did not look great at all. This was your opportunity to solidify, send it to overtime where he was heating up and could probably get you guys in contention to, come back and win this ball game. You had the opportunity. You cramp up and miss. I don't buy it. I think you were faking it. I think you were faking it because you shanked the shit out of that damn field goal attempt. Chargers 16, Bengals 13. Buccaneers. Oof. Gotta knock the rust off of it if you're Brady. Gotta knock the rust off of it if you're Brady. You lost 34-23. Saints on top of the Buccaneers. I picked the Saints to win this game. I'm not even gonna lie. But that's because in my mind, the Buccaneers are going to have some things that they need to work on. This is the first game of the season. There were no preseason games, limited OTAs, yada, yada, yada. Everything that you've heard everybody say today about why the Buccaneers lost is exactly why I chose the Buccaneers to lose in the first place. Because the Saints, they are a well-oiled machine. Everybody's back. They just have a few new toys to play with. Buccaneers, they got a whole new head honcho in there, plus the players that they've added. It was just, I'm not surprised. But don't get it twisted. I had them splitting anyways, each winning at home. So the Saints, you lucked out. You won at home, all right? This one really surprised me. Cardinals 49ers, the Cardinals on the road in San Francisco come out on top to defeat the San Francisco 49ers 24-20. I didn't get to watch the game, so I can't really comment or speculate exactly what the 49ers did or didn't do that ended up causing them to lose this ball game. All I know is Kyler Murray threw 40-plus times in that game, and DeAndre Hopkins is his new favorite toy. Larry Fitzgerald will always be Mr. Reliable for the Cardinals. I know that. But DeAndre Hopkins was the new kid on the block. He came in, and he showed out, and he did exactly what they needed him to do. The late night game, the Rams and the Cowboys. And I picked the Rams to beat the Cowboys. I did. I'm going to toot my horn on this one. There are not many games that I missed this opening week on my picks. I'm just going to admit it. There are not many. I missed the Cardinals pick or the 49ers pick. I know that. The Rams pick I did not miss. I think I'm not sold. I'm not sold on what Dallas can do. I know they added some new shiny toys on the offense, but your defense is still bad. You only lost by 3. The pass interference call at the end, I get it. That was a bogus call. Doesn't matter. You should have won the game, and during the allocated full 40-plus minute game that we had, you should not have. It shouldn't have come down to, they just missed that call. There were like 20 seconds left. It shouldn't have come down to that. And then the last score that I saved for last, it's the best score of the day. It was the best score that happened yesterday, 100%. The Philadelphia Eagles tried to come into FedEx and defeat the nameless Washington football team, but they did not. 27-17, Washington on top of the Philadelphia Eagles. And the only thing that I really took from this game, besides they're only letting Dwayne kind of be like, the game manager, is that our front four is exactly what people thought it was going to be. nasty. We had like 4 sacks on Carson Wentz that whole game. So, also, shout out Ryan Kerrigan, now the leading sack man in Washington franchise history. So,
that was about as shocking as it gets. Although, when I thought about it, I couldn't name who would be number 2. Do you know who the 2 was? I don't.
I don't know who number 2 is.
I was just thinking, like, who and how? And then I couldn't think of who the 2 would be. And I'm like, maybe it could be longevity.
The only defensive player, longevity-wise, he's been with us his whole career. And we thought about getting rid of him in this offseason, but we re-signed him because we knew we were going to draft.
I'm just trying
Chase
to think
Young.
of some of those 80s and 90s Redskins ends. That's some pretty good people, but whatever. I'm not that big on the Washington all-time sack leader.
Philadelphia lost.
All right.
Cowboys lost.
Yeah.
Giants are going to lose tonight against Pittsburgh. Washington's first place in the division. I'll enjoy it while I can because it won't last long, but I'll enjoy it.
Hunter is completely right.
Fun fact, too, Washington football team, their verified Twitter account favorited a tweet of mine today. So
that's who he's in front of. The person he's in front of is who I would have, if I had a guess, that would have been my guess, Dexter Manley. So Manley would have been my guess. The Redskins, it's so hard not to call them the Redskins. Washington.
I think, that's what I'm so mad about is the fact that they are just called the Washington football team.
Any type of name would have been fine.
I could have called him the name. Why we didn't just finish the season and give him like this is the last season you call them the Redskins? I'm like, okay. Great. It's not going to mess me up then.
Because you're offending people every day like you have for the last 70 years.
Yeah, hey.
Better put some tape over that before you get cut off. All right. Let me give you a few thoughts, and then we'll break down some games.
Few thoughts.
My main takeaway from this weekend's games, or what do you say, theme of this weekend's games, is the quarterback blame game. I walked down the hall, and I let Hunter do the scores, and he walked into a couple traps while I was listening to him that I thought he might do.
Oh, a couple traps. All right, go ahead.
He walked into a couple little spots.
Sure, okay. Let's listen to him.
So, whose fault was it Joe Burrow lost?
Oh, it was the kicker.
How many points did his offense score?
13.
Okay. Whose fault? Patriots won.
Cam played good.
How many did they score?
21.
Okay. Teddy Bridgewater.
No, he lost.
How many did he score?
30.
Okay. So the point I'm trying to get, let's blame the right people. Teddy Bridgewater scored.
I didn't blame Teddy Bridgewater. I just said Teddy B and the Panthers, they lost.
I'm saying in general, this is how it happens. Panthers fans all over the internet are saying, and of course, this is how the internet works.
Well, it doesn't help that Teddy lost and Cam won his first game.
Right.
It doesn't help.
But again, how many points did Teddy score?
30.
If they played the Dolphins, would he have won?
Yes.
If Cam would have scored 21 against the Raiders, would they have won?
No.
Okay. So it's all relative we play this win-loss game. It's like the whole Romo game where he put 48 on the Broncos, which remember, that was the Broncos defense that won the Super Bowl over the Panthers. Romo put 48 on him. He got blamed for throwing a late pick. Not that the defense gave up 51, Hunter. It was because of the quarterback threw a late pick.
And listen,
so you're over here yelling at kickers.
Oh, I'm going to blame that. I'm going to blame everybody on the Bengals team except Joe Burrow.
And Joe Burrow scored 13 points.
Joe Burrow had a great game.
13, Hunter.
He had a great game for a rookie quarterback, and for them to have still been in competition against the Chargers.
Right.
He had 193 passing yards and a pick. That was it. But he had a rushing touchdown.
Again, the
46 rushing yards.
NFL average is 23.5 points a game. The Chargers scored 16. That means the defense did its job.
Both these teams were hot garbage. I'm just saying.
The offense and the
quarterback. You have a 30-yard chip shot.
I don't care. Guess what? If Burrow had 30 points on the board, would it have mattered what that 30-yard chip shot would have done?
I guess not. But it's a 30-yard chip shot to send them to overtime to where it's win or lose based off of just his arm. What makes me so mad about it, too, is he had that touchdown thrown, but they called it offensive pass interference on A.J. Green. And I went ballistic because that was the winning touchdown, and that's what made them settle for the field goal.
So same thing with the Cowboys. Again, we can talk about the pass interference, but again, what I'll point out is that the offense only scored 17.
But I said that.
And if they wanted,
I said, look, you shouldn't have to blame the PI call.
This
There
is-
was only 20 seconds left in the game. What do you think he was going to do? You still would have had to just probably had enough time to kick a field goal.
right, but so you don't blame the PI call on that one, but you do in the Bengals. You blame the kicker for losing to that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so
You know
Hunter,
why? Because I'm
Hunter
pro.
stepped into all the holes I wanted him to.
Because I am pro Joe Burrow.
That's what it
Okay,
is.
pro Joe Burrow. Damn it, he will be very successful.
He's pro Joe Burrow and anti-Cowboy.
But listen,
so those two walked right into-
listen. I want you to think about that though.
Okay.
So Joe Burrow comes in, and they lose in a Cincinnati Bengals fashion
At home to Tyrod
at
Taylor.
home to Tyrod Taylor because a PI call. And what could have taken them to overtime, I'm not going to sit here and say they would have won, but the kicker cramps up during the kick and shanks it right. Now, that is a very Cincinnati way to lose. But people gave Andy Dalton so much shit for years for the Bengals losing the exact same way all the time.
Yep.
So,
Burrow got outplayed by Tyrod Taylor.
barely.
So, Hunter,
Barely.
Let's put it on him for a little
Okay,
bit.
Tyrod Taylor is a 8 to 9 year veteran, and Joe Burrow with no OTAs and no 4 preseason games
Yeah.
still about beat him. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
With the team that only won 2 games last year.
All I'm saying is that when your team scores 13, it's not the kicker's fault.
Listen, now I will say this. 100%. I will say this because I couldn't watch this game.
Okay.
But I was keeping up with it on my phone. And it seemed like every time I tuned in to see what his stat line looked like, they weren't letting him throw the ball. I don't understand why they weren't letting him throw the ball. And towards the end, when they needed him to, he was throwing the ball. But for the longest time, he only had like 90 yards.
I don't even know who their coach is.
And that's what I'm getting to. This is only Zach Taylor's second season as a head coach for the Bengals, and I already want him fired.
He's not even a Bengals fan.
I'm not a Bengals fan. Joe Burrow set the completion percentage record. Well, he was second almost in completion percentage record in college football. So
Whoops.
why would you not have faith in him to come out and throw against a Chargers team whose secondary is already depleted with Derwin James not being there? That's their best defensive player, and he's out for the season. Why would you not take the advantage, you know? What do you have to lose, damn it? You won 2 games last year.
This was a game of awfulness. Good God. Wentz.
You went to my game.
Yeah, he had 200. I'm done giving you.
Hey, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Listen, now I will say this.
13 points is the kicker's
Joe
fault.
Burrow, I think me and Colin are in the same boat. Joe Burrow is going to have great statistics this season for a rookie. The problem is the Bengals will let him down every time. That team,
listen,
that organization will let him down.
Playing football, you might be right, but playing football, if you have to blame the kicker for something, that means you didn't do your job more than often than not.
Hell no, that's a 30-yard chip shot, bro. I played soccer and I could have hit that shit.
The Panthers fans blame John Casey, even though their defense gave up 30-something points.
He had the opportunity.
We always
didn't
blame the kickers blamed for everything.
Hey, no, but I was
Poor
saying
kickers.
one of the stories today was that he was okay. The kicker's okay today. Oh, I'm glad he's okay from his little cramp up. Act like you can't just drink some damn pickle juice on the damn sideline, go out there and kick the one time that you're really needed and you don't come through.
So Haskins,
He was the game manager. They really did not let him throw the ball.
he threw 31 times, completed 17, 178 yards.
What they did to him is what every team has done with Alex Smith.
Y'all had 62 yards in sacks.
Hmm?
Y'all had 62 yards
He
in
got
sacks.
put on the ground a lot.
Y'all had more yards in sacks than they had rushing. They had 57 yards rushing.
Well, Miles Sanders, their starting running back, did not play for the Eagles. I don't know why. I don't remember how injured he really is, but I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to say that's a reason that the Eagles lost that ball game. Carson Wentz was through 2 interceptions.
Will the NFC East champion have 8 more or less than 8 wins?
And still make the playoffs because
Somebody makes it.
I know.
Is 9 the goal for the division champ.
9 in the East is always
Is
the
that
goal.
a lock?
That's always the goal.
It didn't used to be.
It didn't used to be. That's always the goal in the East because it's
Giants only
literally
win it unless they
it's
get
literally
9.
the least.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna enjoy this because literally this week, when it's all said and done, the Washington football team, damn it, I'm gonna call them the Redskins because I will, whatever. They are going to be sitting in first place in this division.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it's gonna be. So, all you least fans, think about it. Everybody was saying we might only win 3, 4 games. We've already knocked one out of the park. So
I got you
and it was
down
against
for
last
6.
year's NFC champion,
I got you down for 6.
NFC East champion. I said in our technical inaugural new season, whatever you want to call it, new franchise, whatever, bullshit. All right, if we can get 6 wins, I'll count it as a big one. I'll count that as just a moral win because we literally will have doubled our win total from last year.
Right. So
and
folks,
we're still young.
The simplest way of finding out who to blame for why you lost
Yeah,
it's either quarterback or defense.
kicker.
No, it's not the kicker.
Kickers.
Quarterback or defense. And this is how you do it. Again, the NFL average is 23.5. If you want to go for 24 or 23, whichever your magic number you want to make it, make that your magic number. Now let's say 24 is the number, Hunter. All the teams that gave up less than 24 points. Okay? Bills 1-0, Bears 2-0, Patriots 3-0, Washington 4-0, Jaguars 5-0, Ravens 6-0, Chargers 7-0, but Bengals gave up less too, so 7-1 for teams that gave up less than 24. 8-1, 9-1, 10-2. And there was one more, I think the Patriots, 10-3. 13 teams scored less than 24 last week, and they went 3-10. So if your defense keeps the other team under 24, your defense played good, and you should win if your offense shows up and plays average. Now, look at it the other way. If you give up more than 24, you're probably going to lose, and you should lose.
Outlier looks like it's
Seahawks and Falcons is 1-1. Bills 2, 3, 4-2, 5-2, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 9-3, 10-3, 10-3 if you scored over. So just the complete opposite. So 10-3 if you scored over 24 points, 3-13 if you were under 30 points, or 3-10 if you were under 30 points. In yesterday's action. So not 30, 24 points is the magic number. So we'll go by the game. Seahawks and Falcons. I've got Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I've also got the Falcons squeaking into a playoff spot with 9 wins, Hunter. They put 25 points on the board, good enough to win an average game, but not.
I got a question for you.
Seahawks were 14-2.
Oh, yeah, I got a question for you. What does QBR go up to? Is that the one that goes up to 100?
QBR goes to 100. Quarterback rating goes 153.
Isn't that what QBR is? Quarterback rating?
No, it's not the word. It's something else.
Because I'm confused on how the hell Gardner Minshew's QBR was only a 73.3 when he was 19 for 20 and 3 touchdowns.
Was there any picks?
None.
None.
What? And you act like he had people to throw to.
It really don't get better than what you just said.
I mean, he threw for only 173 yards. But still, he was so accurate, he only missed through 1 ball and had 3 touchdowns. And won the damn game.
Listen, that QBR, that includes rushing in that too.
Oh,
so
if he had some rushing, he was 5 carries for 19 yards.
Okay,
so
4 yards.
positive. I mean, he's positive.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to find. I don't know. How is this QBR? Because
it's
look,
the same thing as War as far as
because
I'm
Phillip Rivers was 36 for 46, 363 yards, 1 touchdown to 2 picks, and his QBR is 56.3.
At what point,
you would think Gardner Minshew should be like so much higher.
At what point Rivers was like 14-15 for 200 yards?
Oh no, he was looking really good. He was looking really good.
Maybe he's
and
okay.
then old Phillip Rivers kicked in, and he's just like, "Oh, I threw a pick. Whatever. I can't do it again."
Here's your QBR ratings: Lamar Jackson 1, Aaron Rodgers 2, Patrick Mahomes 3, Russell Wilson 4, Kyler Murray 5, Cam 6, Teddy Bridgewater 7, Dak Prescott 7, Gardner 9, and Fitzpatrick 10 was Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick had like 3 picks.
He was 20. Listen to this.
He was 3 picks.
Jesus Christ, he did. I mean, he was like whatever the math is that puts Fitzpatrick as the 10th best day.
Hello, they scored 11 points.
Is not right. He was 20 of 30.
Okay.
191 yards.
So he missed 10 throws.
No touchdowns.
No touchdowns.
3 interceptions.
3 picks. Sounds like the complete opposite of what a Gardner Minshew would do, and they're only like 1 to 2 places away from each other.
What kind of math is that?
I don't understand.
Chris, if you're watching, I just started commenting about Spurrier doing okay at Duke, North Carolina. I'm not here about okay. I'm here about national championship.
I'm not here about
anyway.
what Fitzpatrick did. I'm just saying, how many spots are between him and Gardner Minshew right now?
None. Minshew's 9, Fitzpatrick's 10.
Okay, so there's nothing in between them, but Minshew only had 1 incompletion and 3 touchdowns. No picks.
There's actually only 0.6 of a point.
Oh, what the
between them.
fuck? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
I mean, what more did
Like,
you want him to do? I will say this, though, about
wonder
this
if I
game.
can click this formula.
I will say this. I am so happy that Gardner Minshew won this game. I'm not happy that I missed the pick. I always hate when I miss my picks. I thought the Colts... Well, everybody probably thought Jacksonville would be lucky if they won 1 or 2 games this year. Exactly. But I am so happy Gardner Minshew not only won the game, but had a damn good game, too. Because they are trying their hardest to justify why they should draft Trevor Lawrence at the number 1 pick. And if I am Gardner Minshew, I'm making sure every week they have no opportunity to do that. And prove to them that I can be the starting quarterback.
So QBR accounts for the other team's defense as well.
Okay, so you mean to tell me you don't think the Colts' defense is that good?
No, what it is probably swayed based on just 1 week of numbers. So, like, his QBR against a different type of it's going to change in 10 weeks, I guess. I guess the QBR from one game,
stupid as shit.
It changes. I'm not sure exactly.
That's like war.
That's what. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It says those adjusted DP rates will produce a final opponent adjusted.
See, this is one of those advanced analytics type shit, and if you can't just look at Manalytics, then we have a problem.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 paragraphs to explain the stat.
If we can't just look at the Manalytics, and I can't just tell you that Gardner Minshew is every bit as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick, then what, 0.6 QBR, then we have a big-ass problem, people. We have a huge problem, and I just don't know how to help you. But that to me... Besides Washington beating the Eagles, was the most surprising game to me. The fact that Jacksonville beat the Colts. Because at one point, I thought the Colts were going to have them dead in the water. The Colts at one point were up 17-0.
Yeah.
And then it was 17-14. And then Jacksonville just went on a run. And nowhere would you have believed me if I told you Gardner Minshew was only going to miss 1 pass on the day and throw 3 touchdowns? No. I don't care if he hit the 200 mark or not. That's not the point. He is efficient. When we picked him, I had him at 0-16.
I only had him at 2 wins.
I had him at 0-16, dead ass.
But if you remember me sitting there saying, they got to win some of these because they actually have an easy schedule. So I've got them, and based only on Gardner, because he's not. To me, watching him play and talk and act, he's not out there to tank.
He's not losing. No, he will will them maybe to 1 or 2 wins. And this might have been, I'll tell you what, this wouldn't have been the game I chose them to win. No, not against Philip, Philip and these Colts. Well, they're at home. They were in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Now if they did this in Indianapolis, my eyebrows would be raised off of my head.
All right, Hunter, who's better, Sam Darnold or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Josh freaking Allen. I was on Twitter, and Josh Allen was trending, and I wanted to see why, and it was because he missed a wide-open guy rolling out to his left, throwing across his body in the back of the end zone. But he missed him bad. I'll admit it. He missed him. He was wide open and missed him bad.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only thing I saw people... That's why he was trending, because they were like, when someone asked Josh Allen to hit like a 10-yard slant route, and he just soars it. And then I'm like, why don't you look at the rest of his, game? All of his statistics. He played good.
They Listen how many more. The Jets ran 50 plays.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills ran 78.
Oh, the Bills. Listen,
78 plays. Like Allen threw 46 times, and the Jets only had 50 plays. Frank Gore 6 carries, 20. Well, they've got Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell as their running back.
and Le'Veon Bell was injured.
Jeez.
He got hurt.
Jameson Crowder had a good day for the Jets, but everybody on the Bills caught 2 passes. They had Hunter, 3, 6, 8 people caught at least 2 passes for the Bills yesterday. And so the Bills circle the wagons. They jump out in first. Tied with my pick in the East, the New England Patriots, who, let's talk about them and Cam's debut in New England for you Patriots fans out there. Hunter, it was good that they won for the Patriots fans. I will say this.
Yes.
The bad thing is that Fitzpatrick played god-awful.
And he only won by 10.
And so Cam's quarterback, his passing, his QBR is in the top 10. His completion percentage, 15 of 19 for 155 yards.
Didn't throw much. Probably didn't have to, though.
He ran 15 times for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shawnee Michelle, 10 carries. Burkhead, 7. White, 2. Are we looking...
What's the point of having running backs then if you're going to let him
Right.
run 15 times?
Right.
I mean,
So Belichick's offense, if he has been the same thing that Brady's been running, is always been a short passing game type thing.
Mhm.
With Belichick having... There's a report today that they're looking to trade Stephon Gilmore. So is he tanking? I can't decide what they're doing. It's kind of hard to
For
purposely lose
what?
to the Dolphins.
I want to know, like, if you are tanking, for what?
Right.
Though?
You have a quarterback,
Like,
supposedly.
Technically, Cam
You
can
have
be
Stidham.
he can be your quarterback, or you could go to Stidham unless you just think Stidham is not the guy. But the question is, what did you bring Cam in for? If like, what was the point?
Here's a question. For
You mean to tell me with Ryan Fitzpatrick throwing 3 picks, Stidham could not have won this game, or Brian
Right.
Hoyer?
When did Cam join the Patriots? Do you remember?
It was like what, to a month and a half ago?
It wasn't that long, right?
No.
So this whole offseason,
Mm-hmm.
did they practice the quarterback running 15 times a game?
No.
Think about that. What were they doing all offseason up until the point they signed Cam? Because right now their offense was 19 passes from Cam and 15 carries. If he ran 15 times in Carolina, the report yesterday would be
I got
he's running
something. Listen,
way too
listen.
much.
He ran 15 times.
Mhm.
All right. And who is one of the most run-heavy teams in the NFL? Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Their
Sure.
running backs ran 7 carries and 6 carries.
And the quarterback ran.
And the quarterback ran 3 times. And you mean to tell me that Cam Newton ran 15 times? I know, he looks like a unicorn. He's just got that thing
That's his
standing
official-
straight up.
Official haircut.
Straight
official
up.
picture.
I mean, and I'm looking over here for Atlanta. Even Todd Gurley, he ran the ball 14 times. What's another team that lives and dies by their run game? So we just said Cam Newton ran the ball 15 times for the New England Patriots, right? In game 1. We'll see how much longer that lasts. Another team that's run heavy. Let's look at the box score of the Panthers and Raiders. They both have got excellent running backs. They've got Christian McCaffrey, of course, and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had 25 carries. Christian McCaffrey had 23 carries. Those are running backs. That's what they're supposed to do. The quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater ran, but he only ran 4 times. I don't know how I would feel if I knew my quarterback ran 15 times and they were designed runs. Oh, God. I don't know.
It's weird.
Like, to me, all right, let's look at one other guy. Let's do comps. Right now we're running comps, and we're running comps really on the wrong thing. Let me look at one other guy. We're going to look at Baltimore.
Hunter, in 2018, in 14 games, he didn't run 15 times one time.
Cam Newton ran 50 times in his opening game for the New England Patriots. Lamar Jackson in his opening game against the Browns ran 7 times. Cam Newton had, 65 yards on the ground 15 times running?
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson had 45 yards in 7 rushes. So, for anybody that wants to come at me ever about why I would take Lamar Jackson over Cam Newton, they both have MVPs at this point. Neither one of them has a Super Bowl. So, statistically, I can just sit here and tell you that Lamar Jackson is just better. He's better.
The only thing I can think of as far as
15 carries.
As far as the Patriots' strategy, Hunter, is that they always do, it seems like, the complete opposite
of what everybody else
of what you predict that they would do. So if you come into that game, you're gonna be like, "There's no way they run Cam 15 times, right?"
Yeah, but at the same time, I at least believe he gets 8 to 10 design runs for himself. Truthfully.
Well,
it's because that's his game. 15, that's always been his game.
But coming off injury and all that, if you're the defensive coach yesterday, Miami, are you thinking that Belichick's game plan is to run lead option with Cam the whole game?
Miami didn't even know what they were doing when they got off the bus. They only put up 11, and Fitzpatrick threw 3 picks. I don't want to hear it.
All right, Hunter, I found it.
All right.
Week 5, 2014 is the last time Cam ran for 15 or more carries. He ain't done it in 6 years. He didn't do it during the Super Bowl year. He didn't do it the year after the Super Bowl. And yesterday, in the Patriots' first game, I bet, Hunter, he carries it 4 times next game.
Maybe, but how many times he throws the ball?
Ain't that how Belichick usually... I'm just saying, this is how Belichick usually does things, is that he thinks if you're going to prepare to stop Cam throwing, we're going to run it 50 times. Folks, he ran the ball yesterday 15 times. The last time he did that was week 5, 2014. Hunter, you're going to like this one. In a tie game against Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. 37-37. Cam had 17 rushes, 107 yards was the last time he ran for 15 carries. And Belichick, week 1.
So let's knock this out of the way. Let's knock the dust off you real quick.
I mean, seriously, that's wild to me. All right. Any other comments on Cam and the Patriots?
No. Really no.
Did Brady do that quarterback sneak because Cam ran in for 2 and he did that instead of throwing it just to say I could run for it as well?
I don't know if he did that or not.
That's the only thing I was thinking, because it wasn't a called play and he just dove in. I'm like, he's just showing the Patriots fans, yeah, you got your running quarterback, now I'm here. Eagles, Washington, we talked a little bit about that. Any other comments or concerns on the game, Hunter?
No. I will comment on it a little bit more. Obviously, I'm happy that we did start off with a win. I'll be the first one to tell you, as a Washington fan, I did not pick them to win this game. I said the only reason they would have an opportunity in this game is if Carson Wentz got hurt. That didn't happen, but we were in his face all game.
Yep.
We were in his face all game. He got sacked 8 times that whole game. Meanwhile, I mean, what did we do? We protected Dwayne. He was only sacked 3 times. And I'm surprised that our offensive line did that with no Trent Williams. We got a rookie right there at left tackle that we've got trying to get up to speed. We're using running backs by committee. I think we had one go down yesterday. He spread the ball out nicely, though, Dwayne. And you're going to look at the 17 for 31 for 178 yards, and you're going to be like, well, he didn't really throw the ball deep.
Yeah.
I don't expect them, at least maybe the first 2 or 3 games, to really let him throw the ball deep.
Well,
especially because you got to think about who he's been working with and who's been in that building with him. Patrick Mahomes is rare.
Mm-hmm.
But who did he have in there with him teaching him really just about efficiency? It was the game manager himself, Alex Smith. Alex Smith has been in the building with us and Dwayne forever. So I think right now they're not quite ready to just say, all right, let loose. Throw the ball deep. I don't think that's what we're ready to do yet. So overall, I'm actually more surprised that as a whole we scored 27 points. If we would have won this game, I would have thought it would have only been like a 3-point game, 20-17. That's what it was for a little while. But our defense, I think, is going to be a lot better than I expected. I'm just going to put that out there. I know it doesn't help that Carson Wentz threw 2 picks, but hey, is that more on him or is that our defense playing really well on receivers?
Here's what I would like to be able to find. I know I can find it somewhere, and I can't remember. I had to search something.
8 sacks, man, I'm telling you.
I had to search something weird, but I wish there's a stat you could find, and maybe Chris, if you're listening or something, could point me in the right direction. I want to be able to find quarterback points per game, not fantasy points per game, but
Yeah.
how many when a quarterback starts, how many points you average per start is really what what I wanted to look at, and see if I could find like an all time or all time would be great. But I'll take current if I can.
Right now, tied for first in the league for sacks is Ryan Kerrigan. So
Yeah.
I seriously think our defense is going to be hellacious, really, for people to deal with. We're first in the league in sacks with 8 sacks. Do you know who's second? Indianapolis with 4. We've doubled it in one game.
So Cam was 13th in carries with 15. Josh Allen had 14 and Kyler Murray 13.
Well, I've said this for weeks, really, and years since when he came in the league. Josh Allen is the white version of Cam Newton. No one just wants to say it that way.
Or Cam's the black version of Tebow.
Nobody wants to say it that way.
All right, let's go over it quick. We got to get through these games. Cowboys and Rams.
I'm not surprised.
My thoughts on it. Well, I mean, we all picked the Rams, actually, I think.
Not Terry.
Nothing that surprises me is I can look at this stat line. I've been looking at it for 4 years, Hunter. 39 pass attempts, 260 yards.
Dak Prescott.
I mean, if Romo has 39
I
pass
can't
attempts,
say anything. Dwayne had 31 for 178.
Right, you're Dwayne's in the same boat as Prescott. What I'm saying is that they're not Romo, they're not Roethlisberger, they're not Breeze, they're not Brady. You can be good, you can be decent, and win games and win Super Bowl. He's in the Kirk Cousins team. But Cousins, if he throws it 39 times, is probably going to get at least 300 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Cousins likes to let
He'll
it go.
win a game.
I'm counting just off the top of my head, remembering right now, 3 third-down passes where Dak threw it a yard or two short of the first down marker. And I know that the coaching is, well, your receiver is supposed to be able to get you 1 or 2 yards. But again, if he would just run 1 or 2 yards and then throw the ball, it would be simple. One of the biggest pet peeves ever was, as far as Dallas the last few years, the only problem I have with Jason Witten, Hunter,
right,
is that he never got any extra yards.
He'd just catch it and fall down.
So if we needed 10 yards, the coach would call an 8-yard out, and he's getting 8 yards. By God, he's getting the 8 yards. But that extra 2 ain't happening. And I hate when they do it. And I was sitting there watching that game yesterday, Hunter, and I was like, dink and Dak, dink and Dak, dink and Dak. It was 3rd and 20-something. They threw a 5-yard out. Like, the whole thing is dink and Dak. Elliott, 22 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. That's great. That's what they want. But damn, quarterback, 266 yards. It's just not it. What'd you think about CeeDee Lamb?
I think he fits really perfectly. I mean, I don't really have
Romo
much.
scores more than 17 points as he's out there. That's my only point on
No,
this.
I
They
agree.
lost games all
And
the
the
time.
reason why I
defense
don't have
stunk.
much to say about CeeDee Lamb is because, they didn't wow me on offense to begin with. The
Yep.
Cowboys. I mean, Zeke did what Zeke was going to do. Zeke had a good game,
Yeah.
but you know
It
what
was
you're going to get
quietly
out of
good,
Zeke.
too.
Yeah,
It wasn't
and
like
I was just looking
he's
here
running
too.
wild.
He's second right now in the league in rushing with 96 yards,
Really?
but he's behind by quite a bit. People don't realize Clyde Edwards-Helaire in that first game for Kansas City had 138 rushing yards. There's a rookie,
His name's what?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
A guy named Clyde.
Dude, but he's
in
nasty.
2020.
He's nasty.
Is,
He's from he
is
played.
running for the Chiefs.
He just
and
won-
had leading the NFL in rushing.
I'm jealous of him. Not gonna lie, he just won the national championship with LSU last year and is about to win probably the Super Bowl this year with the Chiefs.
There's
That's
just
an
not a lot of
illustrious
Clydes
career.
going around.
No, there's
that's
not.
why I was, anymore.
There's
today.
not. What's
There's
so
not even Beverly's or Ruth's.
And listen,
I just wondered.
I will gripe about this. Damn it, Washington, you failed me only this one time because Adrian Peterson had 93 rushing yards for Detroit. That could have been with us. I'm just saying. That could have been with us. But going back, Cowboys, Rams, I seriously, and that's why I have the Rams making the playoffs this year. It's week 1. They didn't look that great, but I think they've got the better coaching than Mike McCarthy and what he brings into Dallas, because Sean McVay, I think, is a little bit more creative. And I think they are slightly, or at least they have too much talent on the Rams not to win offensively. And so it really helps that you have a guy that knows how to use that talent in I just said his name. Why is it going?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. I know why it went away because I was too focused on. I don't think Mike McCarthy quite knows how to use this offense yet in Dallas. Because think about it, it's the new coach.
It's his first game.
It's his first game. New coach didn't have any really limited OTAs. Didn't have any preseason. So I think it will change. I think the Cowboys will get a good amount of wins this year. But I'm not surprised that this was not a breakout offensive game for the Dallas Cowboys. We've been saying that for years with Dallas. Now that with Dak behind, it's
that's
like he puts
you can put
up
all the
numbers.
weapons you want out there. He's not doing.
I'm
it
sitting there.
anymore.
I'm like, he'll put up these numbers, but it's selective when he puts up these numbers.
He's not getting the 300. He's not coming out there and slinging around and winning the games. That's just what he does. He's gonna do what he does.
And take the PI call out of it. I don't care. That's what everybody's gonna scream. You had 20 seconds left in the game. What were you going to do? Probably kick a field goal to go to overtime. Do you think Dak is out battling Jared Goff in overtime? I don't know because Jared Goff has beaten Dak already before. So I would say
no.
Game,
Hunter, do what the Saints did. Do what the Ravens did.
Do it in overtime. Do it in regular. Do it in a regular.
If you win
time.
in basketball and in football, if you win by more than 10, the referees or bad breaks or anything else. It can't take you down, can't make you lose. If you're winning by 10 and you do what you're supposed to do,
right,
you have no one else to blame. All right, let's go through some more games. Saints and Bucks. Andre was down here earlier, said, yeah, I'm feeling a little about 12-4 now, about 12-4. He said, we were 16-0, but I guess we might lose one or two. We'll see.
I think they lose a lot of their games at the front of the season. Back half of the season, I think they get it rolling. This doesn't surprise me. I think we all figured this. I'm pretty sure every single one of us at this table Saturday said the Saints will at least win Game 1 in New Orleans. I think they'll split. It'll be a home and a home. New Orleans will win at home. Tampa Bay will win at home. Truthfully, I think that's how it'll be.
If the Saints don't have any injuries, Hunter,
you think they beat them twice?
They might be the best team in the NFC. I've got Saints Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. This is the first year in 5 or 6 years I have not picked the Saints to make the Super Bowl. I thought maybe some of the Drew Brees stuff. You never know as far as like teammates side-eyeing the quarterback or not trusting the quarterback. That could become an issue.
I heard somebody talk about that. I can't remember. I think it was Aqib Talib brought it up on Colin's show. He said, look, Colin, they might be okay when they're face-to-face with him, but when he turns around, they might not be okay with him.
Right, so that's why I'm not – locker room things worry me. So Seahawks to me are the most solid. So Saints win 34-23. Brady, as far as they're concerned, I think, Hunter, the penalties is what's going to piss Brady off the most. I think they had 9 penalties, 60-something yards.
And I think that and Brady's dealing with a young left tackle. He's a rookie. I mean,
everything I've seen is that their line is actually average. So Brady's dealing with an average line and a penalty-laden team. And he's used to winning these close games. And Belichick, if the Bucs aren't going to stop anybody, this is the thing that Brady's going to have to get to learn here in the NFC South. The Patriots can hold teams under 20.
Oh, yeah.
The Bucs is going to have some trouble doing that. The Patriots play the Jets and Dolphins and Bills, who they can hold under 10 and 20 and 15.
Right.
The Saints, Falcons, and maybe the Panthers aren't scoring 10 points.
The Panthers just scored 30.
Well, think about it. If you're the Panthers, you got rid of Kyle Allen and brought in a quarterback who's 24-11, 5-0 in his last 5, and you got a better wide receiver, and you got a new left tackle.
We can look at that. And we can look at that.
We're about to get to them. We're getting them last.
We'll get to them last. That's fine.
All right.
That's fine. The only thing I'll say about the Bucs and the Saints game is that, the Heat, when LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh all joined together, they struggled early.
Yeah.
They had their struggles. So maybe the first 5 weeks, this will be the worst you see the Bucs. I feel like that once they get going.
Of the Lakers team that added Karl Malone and Gary Payton to Shaq and Kobe and them trying to win it all. And they didn't win it. And same thing with the Rockets getting Pippen and Barkley.
Yeah.
How about this one? All right, Hunter. This is where I want to toot my own horn a little bit. I'm ready to toot on the boot and the scoot. The 49ers lost.
They did.
And I didn't predict that they would lose this game. I'm not going to say that. So there is no patting on the back. I'm pretty sure I picked the 49ers
I
to win.
picked them too, and this is another one that had my eyebrows raised.
But what I did, though, was pick the 49ers to miss the playoffs. And losing to the Cardinals is a great step in that direction. Here's the teams. if you're unfamiliar with how we do, every year on average 3 in the NFC, 3 in the AFC, 6 total, sometimes 5. Teams that made it the year before don't make it the next year. So this year with them adding a new playoff team, we only took out 4 teams. Hunter, I took out the 49ers, lost. Took out the Vikings, lost. Might have missed on the Bills, but that's betting on the Patriots being good.
Yeah.
And the Bills still might make the playoffs, especially over the Browns or Colts. So I'm still in that. But we had to take 4 out, so I took the Bills out. And the Texans.
And they look bad.
And they look bad. So 49ers, Vikings, and Texans all got beaten, kind of all got handled a little bit by teams they shouldn't have. The
Texans got handled by Kansas City.
Right, but they still, if they want to.
They still did not look good.
They got to go through them to make the Super Bowl.
They still didn't look good.
You got to compete, right?
Right.
So,
and who knows? The Jaguars might actually give them a run now.
If I'm looking after a week 1 revise, Hunter, I would put the Bills back in, but I don't know who I would take out because I'd have to take out a team that made it the year before. So that's the tough part. All right, Hunter. So 49ers I had missing. I do remember Tom making fun of that one. I can't remember the exact words. If I don't use the exact words, he'll be mad at me. So.
I will give Tom credit for this, though. He said his dark horse to make it was the Cardinals this year. So,
okay.
There you go, Tom.
Thoughts on Packers-Vikings?
No thoughts at all. Just the Packers came out and literally put up a 40 bomb. It's either Aaron Rodgers is on a mission or the Vikings defense really is shit. And I just don't know.
It might be both.
It might be both.
Sure.
But I will say this too about this game though. I know that might be a lot of like garbage time numbers, but how the hell are you going to score 24 points in the fourth quarter if you're the Vikings? Where was that the first 3 quarters?
I don't know. That's that Kirk Cousins slinging it around.
Yeah, that's damn big. Well, this was what another problem was. Do you know how many passes they let him throw at, up until halftime? They only let him throw 5 passes.
Who?
Kirk Cousins. So, Mike Zimmerman, you might be a dumbass because this is a pass-first league, and you're going against arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league still. So, why? What do you think is going? You think you running the ball is going to beat him? No.
Hunter, they scored 34. That would have beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 other teams this week. But it's not good enough to beat
Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
What do you got to think about Bears over the Lions? Trubisky with 21 in the fourth quarter.
He showed up in the fourth quarter.
Down 23 to 6.
Yeah.
The Bears win.
He showed up. I mean, I know it's crunch time and you really want your quarterbacks to play a full game and not just be able to pull one out of their ass, but you can't complain. You really can't complain, though, because he came out with the win. So, whatever.
I want to break down the Browns, but there's nothing to break down.
Yeah, there is nothing. The Ravens are still good.
The hot garbage that they threw out there.
The Ravens are still good. That's about all I can say.
I'll look over some box score stats real quick and see as soon as my.
I wish I could just get every game, but I don't feel like paying for Red Zone or none of that shit.
What? Huh? Y'all watch TV for a few minutes. Wake Bell up. Kids of late, so we're doing teaching and homeschool, and then the misbehaving and stuff. Hunter found some contraband this weekend.
Oh no!
And what I call contraband is Legos. So another thing on Wednesday's show, we're gonna break down videotape of the kids playing baseball.
Okay.
But so they've been banned from Legos, and they've snuck some from Nana's house, and I was like, "Where'd you get these from?" It was like Nana's. So I had to text her and be like, "I'm gonna call the cops on my kid's dealer if they don't stop
giving them Legos,
giving them their fix." But yeah, they're waking up from nap time right now. All right, Hunter. Baker 21 of 39, 189. That's not gonna get it done. Lamar Jackson 20 of 25, 275. That will get it done.
3 touchdowns, no picks. Come on now.
The Browns outrushed the Ravens, but Landry 5 catches, 61 yards. Joku 3 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown. Beckham 3 catches, 22 yards. They need to trade him.
Oh yeah,
like
they could use him as a good trade piece for anybody.
He's not doing anything and helping them, from what I can tell, since they've added him, and I don't know, what to take from that other than to me he's just not been helpful.
He's not been worth
No,
what they gave up for him.
probably not. We'll see. All right, Hunter. I think I only got one more game, and it's that Panthers game.
It
Let me
is.
make sure. Eagles, Dolphins, Patriots, Vikings, Lions, Bills, Jets, Falcons,
Yeah.
Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah.
Tonight, real quick, we're not going to break them down. Let you pick Steelers and Giants. You got the Steelers.
I do have the Steelers.
Next one will be closer. Titans and Broncos.
I have the Titans. Would not surprise me if the Broncos win. I just think Von Miller not being there is going to hurt. So
Okay.
give me the Titans.
All
Is
right.
it in Mile High? I think it is in Colorado.
It's in Denver, yeah.
But I still think Derrick Henry will have his way.
All right, now let's talk Carolina
Kitty Cats and
Panthers
Pirates.
football.
Or whatever a Raider is. I guess you can call it a pirate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. The Tusken Raiders in Star Wars aren't.
They're not
pirates.
pirates. They're just sand people, though.
Are they sand pirates?
Maybe. I don't know.
We're gonna have to go to JP for that one. We'll have a question for him Saturday.
We'll throw that to JP's corner. The Raiders. I picked the Raiders to beat the Panthers.
Did you?
I
couldn't
did.
remember. I thought we all picked Carolina. on
No,
this one.
I picked the Raiders, and it was because I don't understand the unnecessary hate that Derek Carr gets from not only his head coach, but everybody else in the league. They just don't think he's good enough to play the game. Like, they think they think he can be replaced by the backup Marcus Mariota.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking there's no way in hell. Because he had a ball that he threw for a touchdown. I think it was in either the first or the second quarter. And he absolutely laid just perfect touch on it, laid it. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the league, but we've seen for many years that sometimes the biggest arm doesn't always win. He's consistent, he's accurate, and you know what you're getting from him every week. So I think so. To me, and this is what's going to be crazy to some people, I would take Derek Carr over Teddy Bridgewater. And so to me, I do a lot of stuff like that. It's like, well, which quarterback do I think is going to show up and be the one that I think wins this game? And it also helps that it's a solidified coaching staff with the Oakland Raiders. And I don't know Matt Rule and all of them that just got brought up from college to come coach in the NFL. So that's why I took the Raiders. And it turned out to be a pretty good pick.
All right, so I'll always take accuracy over arm strength any day.
Look at Drew Brees.
I'll take Drew Brees over Jeff George, you know, or however you want, Dante Culpepper, or however you want to put it. Let's talk Panthers, of course. You know, again, here we are blaming folks.
Yep.
They're blaming Rule, and see, this is what we do. We blame for these critical situations as opposed to, well, maybe the defense shouldn't have gave up 34 points.
Mm-hmm.
How about that, guys? It's not that he gave it to the fullback with 1 yard to go.
And it wasn't that they got torched through the air. What did they struggle with last year? Stopping the run.
And 33 rushing yards. Jacobs, 25 carries, 93 yards.
3 touchdowns.
That both teams ran all over each other.
Yeah.
It was
McCaffrey had a lot of yards on the ground
96 and 2 touchdowns. He had Panthers 128, Vegas 133, 31 and 30 rushing. Almost all the stats across the board, Hunter.
They're actually very similar.
Derek Carr, 241 touchdown. Teddy Bridgewater, 271 touchdown. And it's a 34-30 game. So are we looking at two equally mediocrely bad teams?
Or are they just two
average teams? Or two good teams?
I think it's a mixture of average and good. And the only reason I say good is because I think the Raiders could be really good. Well, not really good. I think they could be just good.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make the playoffs because they're going to be held out by the Chiefs, and there will be other teams that make the playoff wild card spots. I think they can be good because if you look offensively, they've got good pieces. Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs,
right.
Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Aguilar caught the touchdown pass, Hunter Renfrow. I mean, they've got good offensive weapons. It's just going to come down to the defense, and it wasn't there because, like you said, league average 23. They gave up 30.
So Cam was 15 of 19 for 190 yards. Bridgewater had 270 yards and a throwing touchdown. Cam didn't have any throwing touchdowns. Bridgewater ran for 26 yards.
Cam has a higher QBR too, and I don't understand.
So Cam got the win, but again, if he got 21 against the Raiders, he loses.
Yeah.
And if the Panthers get 30 against the Dolphins, they
win.
win. So I mean, you can look at that however you want, but to me, looking at him, is Bridgewater not do exactly what Cam would have done in best case snenario?
I think
270 yards,
no, I don't.
25 rushing. That's Cam Newton stats. It's Cam Newton land.
Not really. If you think about it, take 50 yards off of that throwing and put it on rushing. Yeah.
Oh, you're even going further with that.
Yeah, I'm taking 50 yards off the passing and I'm putting it on rushing. He would probably have 75 yards rushing and then only 220 yards passing. Doesn't matter. You're right though. He could have a touchdown pass. I would take one of those touchdown rushes away though from Christian McCaffrey then, and say Cam Newton probably rushes for one of them.
Oh, he would have kept one of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he ain't never not kept one.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just not. That's just not feasible on that. So he averages. So for Cam's career, Hunter, he averages 230 yards a game.
Yeah.
So you're right in there on that estimation as far as that goes. Let me scroll down to the rushing, see if it'll show me that one to make sure. 9 year, he averages 38 yards rushing a game. So Cam averages 230 and 38. Bridgewater got 270 and 26. So yeah, we're around the same thing. So again, like you said, the very first thing you said when we started this, same thing. What was the Panthers' problem last year? You couldn't stop the run. You give up 34 points and 130 yards.
And 93 of them to one guy who scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, so that's
tough.
Yeah, I mean that's it. That's they both teams scored 3 touchdowns. You even got Robbie Anderson coming in and producing for him. So he came in 6 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown, Hunter. So this Panthers team last year won 5 games. They add Bridgewater, who most people, everybody says better than Kyle Allen. And you had a number 1 wide receiver. Even if he's not a number 1 overall league-wide, he's number 1 on that team.
It's either him or DJ Moore,
yeah.
And it looked like Anderson just was able to get open.
Yeah.
So, have you seen him, though, on screen, Robbie Anderson?
He's a funny-looking cat.
My God, he's a toothpick.
He's got the longest neck ever.
And his arm, my God, he might be, I might weigh the same as him.
Yeah.
And he's probably 3-4 inches taller than
He's
me.
one of those wide receivers where you just hope the quarterback puts one high on him.
Yeah.
You can put your shoulder in his ribs one time and just fold him in
that,
half.
or you're
I'm going to fold him in half.
Or you're one of the fans that prays to God Bridgewater doesn't leave him out to dry over the center.
Somebody hits one of them legs and it just shatters.
Jeez.
I can't find that overall points per game, but I will one day. 'Cause to me, that's, at the end of the day, Hunter, isn't that the measuring stick is, and that's something that you would think that would be an easy thing. Like, how many points per game does Drew Brees average, or Tom Brady or something in their offense? So, it's going through some of the notes here in
Well, you could do a sample size.
Arians surprised by Brady's week 1 struggles. What is that? Something's playing somewhere.
I know what it is.
Is it me or you?
It's me.
Oh, okay.
There was a little highlight up in the corner. It's from the Panthers-Raiders game.
The Browns have already cut their kicker.
Nah, oh yeah, that'll fix it. Cut the kicker.
Joku to injured reserve.
They should have just traded him.
He said he didn't want to be there. He
should have just traded
He catches a touchdown pass. Did he fake the injury?
I don't know. He probably did that to, boost his draft stock. Or not draft stock, his trade stock.
Colts running back Mack tore his Achilles.
Hate to see it, but I said it. I said we're going to see some injuries.
Vander Esch is out 6 to 8 weeks.
We're going to see some key injuries.
Worried about that one's probably kind of big.
The Vander Esch one is definitely the bigger one.
What do you think about Alden Smith played pretty well?
He played good for somebody that hadn't played since 2014, but yeah.
All right, game 1, Heat and Celtics, Hunter. We forgot to pick that tomorrow night. Who you got?
I'm going to take the Heat. They're rested right now. They took the game 1 on the Bucks. They were rested, so I'm going to take game 1. I'm going to give it to the Heat. I haven't given them much respect outside of them winning, picked them to win their first series, so I'm going to give it to them.
All right, folks, on Wednesday, we're going to talk more in depth. We won't have too much football on Wednesday. We're going to try to keep our footballs to Monday so we can kind of get the fresh thoughts. On Wednesday, we'll have in-depth NBA playoff, Major League Baseball, and NASCAR. Last night or yesterday, Albert Pujols ties Willie Mays for 660 all-time home runs. Here's some notes on that. 312 at home, Hunter. He's hit more home runs on the road than at home. How many people do that? 348 on the road in 38 Major League stadiums. There's only 30 teams in the league. New stadiums.
Blow them up.
There you go. All right, here you go. Of his 660 home runs, 360 are solo. 15 grand salamis, 12 walk-offs, 60 multi-home run games. Of the 660 home runs, it came off 425 pitchers. The number one pitcher to give up the home runs to Albert Pujols, and who should probably, every time he bats, just hit him or walk him, Ryan Dempster, gave up 8 bombs to Pujols in his career. So, Albert,
Well, I'll tell you who else.
congratulations to him on
I'll tell
that.
you who else shouldn't take the mound ever again against the Braves is Urena. That's the one that gave up 29.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's all I have to say on that.
I had one. I lost the tweet. I had like one or more on Pujols. Anything else, Hunter, that we missed maybe from the football weekend? I'm thinking it seems like there's
nothing.
always something.
Nothing really that we've missed. I'm just happy it's back.
I saw a very interesting number on the Pujols thing, and I hope it's very easily to get to. He's also and so he's now 5th in home runs. He's up there. He's like 2nd in RBI. So. Pretty cool. Albert Pujols hit 660 to tie Willie Mays at the same park where he made his debut at Coors Field. Let's see. RBIs. Albert is ahead of Mays now in RBIs by about 190. Let's see. The ball he hit was a bomb. Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was a no doubter. It wasn't like that might get out of here. It was like, damn. Crush that ball. Albert Pujols now in the top 5, Hunter. In RBIs, he's 2nd. Home runs, 5th. Doubles, 5th. Total bases, 5th. And extra base hits, 5th. All time. But you don't care about that. You want to know his WAR, right?
Hell no, I don't care about his WAR.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening today and watching the KDC broadcast. Shock Joxx. I've got baseball practice to get to today. Hunter, what you getting into?
I'm going to the gym.
Going to the gym.
Probably do some homework or something.
Well, say hey to the guy. Hope he's nice. Hope he's nice to you. We'll see you guys later. Shock Joxx, KDC broadcast.